All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I have not talked about EV stocks in a really long time. All right, I obviously have been so loud about how much I believe AI is king. I was very much talking about AI when I started these. EV stocks when I was making these videos initially, right? But yeah, look, I think it's really important that we talk at least about the first three. And honestly, I'm only adding MULN at the end. And again, I keep saying the same things about MULN, right? I'm not here to bash the stock, but when the whole sector's doing well, on top of the fact that the NASDAQ is doing well, but one specific stock isn't, that's I don't even know what the word is, right? Just give me that kind of like feeling, you know what I mean? So just again, you know I'm not here to bash any stocks, and clearly I'm very excited about the first three that we're going to talk about, all right, between FCEL, RIVN, and Tesla. So yeah, let's get into it real quick. What are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We do have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. Man, are there no lines here? Wow, I haven't covered FCEL on a video. You're lying. All right, I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines, and then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this thing, comment anything, good or bad. Excuse me, it all really does help with the YouTube algorithms. And for real, I just really appreciate your time more than anything, okay? So look, let's get into it. And hey, FCEL has done good things, all right? Really quickly, let me flash the NASDAQ, all right? Comp Q real quick, NASDAQ composite. Listen, NASDAQ, especially once it broke this 1225 line that I've been having for a quick minute, like, ooh, that's a monster run. And remember, my golden rule number 1 is when the market does well, your job is not to do well, it's to crush it. All right. And I'm telling you, days like these in the NASDAQ is really why we're seeing, FCEL, yeah, it's why we're starting to see these big candles, these double-digit days, right? Like, look at RVIN, baby. It doesn't look massive, but look what we did. We destroyed the 50, right? Even Tesla, look, I know it doesn't look big, right? Only a 4 monster candle after confirmation, right? So I know I'm jumping around a little bit more, but 1, I'm excited. Things are good, and shit, it feels good to be excited, right? But 2, more than anything, listen, when the sector does well, when the NASDAQ does well, this is where you buy yourself an F350, an F650 if you're a Deion Sanders fan. You load that back seat up as much as you can and like you take it for a ride, right? And that's what we're really hoping for, all right? Again, honestly, I think I know because shit, I've been in them, but AI has been doing better. But that doesn't mean that the old big boys and big girls can't do it as well, right? So that said, look, let's get into the technicals, right? Again, bad things happen under the 8 and the 20. There was a good amount of that, right? There was a decent little run right here too, right? But yeah, you lose the moving average clusters, right? And you're gonna fall down pretty hard, okay? That said, what I really like is this. Look, we break the 8 and the 20, definitely get rejected here, but we use the 20 as a bounce point. And again, we use the 20 as a this 20 is now becoming a little more sustainable, all right? I wanted to zoom out and just see how it looked. When it made this break, 20 did nothing, all right? It had a chance right here, definitely just comes down, goes back up, again, just kind of comes back down. And it actually starts to become a resistance from there, right? Like this, the 20 wasn't very friendly even when we broke it right here, right? So yeah, and again, I'm just kind of like this thing has not been very good with the 20 for a minute. So to see it bounce once, twice, I like that for sure. MACD is still looking good. We're coming nearer and nearer and nearer to the 0 and positive line. Dude, RSI is still in a beautiful number, right? Like there's plenty of room for this thing to go, and let's get that volume, right? Let's get a couple more green buys and let's go. So look, today broke 2 really important candles. I'll be honest, I think tomorrow I'm expecting 246. all right? I'm expecting to match or break the top of this 5-5 candle. That'll also put us over the 50, making the next day want some confirmation. And honestly, I'm putting 100 moving average target right here. I didn't want to say $100. That would have been really stupid, right? But I think 290 is where this thing wants to go. And look, if this can get over 325, a lot can happen for sure. Because again, good things happen overall. And look, we've hit the 100 a few times recently. The 200. We've hit the 200 here. We've hit the 200 here. We've hit the 200 here. We hit the 200 here a bunch of times. Like, this 200 might be actually ready to crack, but for now, I'm going to keep it on a 290 target. That's for sure. And again, tomorrow, my very, very major expectation is to do 246. I can see us coming down to 228, the 8 moving average right here. But again, I don't think we're coming down here or any lower. Believe me there. So, and when I say believe me there, this is not financial advice, just my opinion. RIVN, baby. Again, this is a sexy candle. I know it doesn't look like that big a percentage, but oh my gosh, look at this thing. Look at this thing, right? Fails the 50 right here, fails the 50 right here, fails the 50 right here, breaks it, can't confirm, breaks it, can't confirm, breaks it, can't confirm, breaks it. Oh man, tomorrow matters, and look at where we're at. Let me just zoom in. We are actually over the 0 line, but let's just call it 0, whatever. But that's a sexy divergence, just a fancy way of saying the two lines are going away from each other, right? So this is good. This is good, because 66 is still nothing, right? I'm hoping for good things. Again, just like we said, at this point, I think my expectation is here. You know what? I think I can actually, what's here? All right, I'll give you that. If you can do 1450, 1455, I'll call that confirmation. I would love 1482, and I actually would very much not be surprised. And straight up, you want to know the truth? I would actually even put it at 15 flat right here, all right? Basically 50% candle, top of this guy, bottom of this guy, because for real, this is insignificant. All right, you always hear me talking about the good days versus the bad good days, and yeah, this candle actually means absolutely nothing to me, if you want to know the truth. So I'm liking it. All right, I really am. For now, we do have to put our target right here again, because look, we haven't even touched the 100 moving average line in a long time, right? Do I think we can break it? I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of think we do. But again, we need to see what happens when we get there, because don't disrespect the line, all right? Do not disrespect the line. Believe me, I can tell you that from experience. I am a guy I'm a cocky guy, all right? I know I seem really, really like pessimistic and conservative and shit. No, I'm unfortunately too cocky for my own good at times, and I've at least learned my lessons, and learning my lessons means losing fat money because I over anticipated and underestimated certain things. And honestly, this 100 moving average is a really good example. So don't get too cocky. All right, do I think we're going to break this 1575 line? Yeah, I do. But for now, this is my target. You know what I mean? And then from there, red. Like there's a lot, like, you know, I don't want to talk 30 yet. We haven't even talked about the 200 yet, right? But yeah, there's a lot of recovery this thing can make if some important things happen, all right? So I am liking. Let's look at the weekly real quick before I move on. Oh my gosh, look at that. We're now over the 8. We've done it a couple times, all right, but it actually has been only a couple times this year, right? And, you know, aside from this couple times, we've been well under this thing for a bit. So I'm liking it. And again, look, getting over this 15 something is not going to be easy, but if we can, silly things can happen. You know what I mean? So very, 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 very nice to see for sure. So RIVN, loving it. Tesla, let's come into Tesla and look. I know this does not look like a big number, right? Less than 5%, but monster candle. And again, you got to remember, Tesla is not RIVN. Tesla is not FCEL. Tesla is essentially your NVIDIA, right? Like this is your slow and steady chugging, chugging and chugging and chugging and chugging and chugging and chugging. You know what I mean? So you should not be expecting home runs. Like that's what this stock used to be. At this point, this is the blue chip, baby, and like there's nothing wrong with that, right? But yeah, this is nice, and this is telling me, ooh, sorry, that was a weird. I think it was because of this drop, but this is telling me it wants to go to 200. And I'll be honest, you know what I mean? I do see it wanting to get there, and I obviously see the 80 RSI, but it's not even worrying me like it would most stocks, because again, this is Tesla, right? So I'm loving it. I'm very, very much loving what I'm seeing, and it's easy to break a couple rules because one more time, this is Tesla, right? So yeah, the target is 202. I really don't care about this 80 RSI. I'm very happy that the MACD is in the positive, that those are diverging, That's some sexy green right there, right? So a lot of good. Let me say it one more time. A lot of good across the first three, all right? You know that, ooh, my goodness. Important weekly. Looks like the weekly is getting out of a cluster. This thing's actually saying, hey, we might even be going into this 210 range right now, right? So again, it's less about expecting more than 5% a day, and really expecting 5% a day is life-changing money. You know what I mean? So just please, please, please don't ever forget that, right? Like, know if you're trying to play for a home run, or if you're playing like know the difference, right? So it'll make you or save you a wild amount of money. Sorry about that. MULN. Okay, now we are under $1. We are now pretty far from the 8 moving average. Again, I said it on the last video, I'll say it again. I really can see some sort of recovery back to 120. And for sure, a move from 95 cents to 120 would be monstrous. However, when all those stocks that I just ran through, and I flashed the NASDAQ as well, have been doing good, and you're seeing this, man, I'm not here to hate on a stock, but like, you know what I mean? And look, again, you go away from the 8, you go up to the 8. You go away from the 8, you go up to the 8. You go away from the 8, you go up to the 8. You go away from the 8, you go up to the 8. We've now gone away from the 8. I wouldn't be surprised if we go up, but look, volume is just getting worse. RSI's at a 4, and it looks like it wants to keep going lower. That's silly, right? But I mean, you see the same thing I see, right? Like they're still somehow trying to find a way to get away from each other. So like, I know it always looks like how much worse can it get? We just gapped down, and I know people were asking how much worse can it get? I mean, the answer was another 11% loss, right? So less about hating and more just about the realistic facts about what happens to a reverse split. And TRKA, again, reverse split is deadly. And I know you guys just approved it, and you're trying to focus more on the buyout and stuff like that, but just be careful, all right? Hey, I appreciate you all so much.